Yo, Adam Saxon with Guy in a Cube. Another week, another roundup. We've got some updates for Power BI. We've got a little DAX. We've got some cool stuff to do with visuals and so much more. If you're finding us for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the videos from both Patrick and myself. And with that, let's dig in. Alberto Ferrari's got an article talking about time intelligence inside of Power BI. This has to do with the automatic date calendars that get created inside of Power BI, inside of your model. There's an option where you can go in to disable this capability with inside of Power BI. And Alberto walks through why really you should turn this off and why you really need to use a centralized calendar table or date table inside of your model to accommodate the analytics that you want to go after. Is it absolutely necessary? No, in some cases you can actually get away with using what is there in the model with that auto date time capability, but in a larger sense, it just pays off so much more to have that one calendar table in your model. And Alberto does a great job of walking through that. I'll also talk about something at the end of this video that goes along with this item that makes it even better. Brett Powell's got a blog post looking at the new item in the Gateway May 2019 update, which has to do with performance analysis and how do I capture data off of the gateway to make sense of what's going on, especially when problems happen. He talks about the data that can be collected and also the report that comes with it and what you can analyze based on that data. He also calls out some limitations and talks about some modifications you may want to make to get more insights out of it. I love this though, as I have a lot of discussions with folks that struggle over how to actually understand what the gateway is doing, especially when that problem occurs. And so this feature of the May 2019 gateway goes a long way to really try to dig into what happened, assuming that the issue took place on the gateway itself and not in the service. So I definitely recommend you check out this blog post, especially if you're working with the gateway, you're trying to figure out what's going on. This could be helpful for you. Links as always down in the description below, along with links for all the items in this week's roundup, including some bonus items, so go check it out. Reed Havens has got a blog post / video. Really, it's a video looking at how you could do like a slicer pop-out. You may know that we did a similar thing on this channel, but Brett looks at it from his perspective. Actually, he added a few things to it, which I thought was actually pretty cool. I don't know why we didn't think about that, but he walks through how to actually do it. I think it's a great video. He approaches it in a very clean way, and I love it. The one thing I would call out, and when he did the slicer panel, just based on some things that I've worked on in the past and what Patrick's worked on, having a lot of slicers there can impact performance. And so I'll link to a video that Patrick did. Reed does call out some legitimate things in terms of the filter pane, and there are pros and cons to using either approach. And there are reasons why you would absolutely want to use slicers versus the filter pane. Just be cautious, test your things. Performance can have an impact, usability can have an impact, regardless of which way you go, right? So just make sure, figure out what the best is for your situation or scenario, your business case, and then, create your report accordingly. But this is a great video that shows you how you can accomplish using buttons and bookmarks, and just talking about the last couple videos that we've done here on this channel. It just brings it all home, and I love it. It's a good video. Definitely check it out. But just make sure the performance piece, like the video I linked above, make sure you understand that aspect of it. So good job, Reed. There was an update for custom connectors where Microsoft is providing the capability to actually sign those custom connectors to use within Power BI Desktop and the Gateway. Previously, in order to use a custom connector with the Gateway, it had to be signed. It had to go through Microsoft. And so for organizations that are potentially developing their own custom connector, this caused some challenges. So now those developers can download a tool to actually sign that custom connector, distribute it to the users, and then the end users can then enable the capability to actually support that custom connector. This opens up the ability for organizations to actually use those custom connectors that they're developing without having to go through Microsoft for a signing process. Glad to see that this is hit and potentially unblocks customers from using those connectors. We got the May 2019 release of Power BI Desktop, and there's some good things in this desktop that I really recommend you check out. The first one, the support guy in me, the debugger, I just want to figure out what's going on, is the new Performance Analyzer pane, and this is it's good. It's not going to fix everything for you. It's not going to give you. It's a starting point to understand what's happening from a visual perspective and how to break down where your performance bottleneck may be. Coming from the support background, I did support for 15 years, and I will tell you in terms of collecting data, typically you're not going to get like the smoking gun, but you're going to get a pointer to where you can go and make things better. So in this case, the pointer here is going to be, hey, do I have a DAX problem? Is it the visual rendering, or is it maybe something else that's contributing to the slowdown? But it's something we didn't have before, and it goes a long way to really help narrow down report bottlenecks. Patrick and I have already used this with some customers, looking at how do we improve report performance overall, and it has helped. So if you are encountering performance problems in your reports, definitely check out this feature. It's a big one. In this desktop release, we also got updates for the key performance indicator. We got some updates to the filter pane, so you can sort the cards on the filter pane now. It's got theme support as well. The other big thing I was really excited to see, and this goes back to the first item that Alberto did on the auto date time, is there's now a setting in options where you can disable auto date time for all new Power BI desktop reports that you're going to create. So it's a desktop wide setting. I know there are folks in the community, especially the folks over at SQLBI.com, that have been asking for this feature, and it's here now, and you can just turn off auto date time. There were also the normal updates for custom visuals and connectors, which are great. Go check those out. And the very last item that was on this list was the auto query cancellation update. This is good, especially if you're using direct query, where we could send some queries and now we've got to wait. I know that this came up when trying to use like direct query against the Azure Databricks instance, where we're kind of bottled up, right? We can't do anything and the UI is kind of locked until those queries return. So this is a way when, hey, I did a slicer selection, I'm waiting. No, I meant to do this, and then it'll cancel the previous query so that you can continue on. So this is pretty cool. Very excited about all these items. Make sure you are updated to the latest version of Power BI Desktop. If you're using the Windows Store, you will get it automatically on Windows 10. Otherwise, you got to go get the MSI and update. All right, I want to pass this off to you. What was your favorite item in this week's roundup? Maybe it was something I mentioned. Maybe it was something I didn't. Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Smash it if you so desire. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button. And as always, from both Patrick and myself, thank you so much for watching. Keep being awesome, and we'll see you in the next video.